Good morning, fellow riders, and welcome to Airhead Barn. No, this is not another restoration episode. Actually, summer is back to Colorado and we will go for a 4-day motorcycle camping trip. I hope you will join me and that you will like this couple of episodes. Our faithful R80ST aka Princess Sophia is all ready for this trip, completely filled with some nice goodies, and without further ado, let's see how she'll do. And here we go. We are starting our trip in Superior, Colorado, where I live and where I'm going to pick up my good friend Lucas on KLR as well. And then we will head to Idaho Springs for a nice coffee with his father and mom on GS 1200. And after that we will head toward Berthoud Pass. What you can see here on the left is actually devastating fire that happened just a day before New Year, Marshall Fire, that basically completely changed in a negative way whole Superior and Louisville. Over 1,000 houses were burned at that time. As I said, summer is finally back to Colorado, even though it did not look very promising 2 days ago. It was raining all day here, and then in mountains it was a bit snowing, but hopefully we will be able to make it through. The trip should be that central part of Colorado, like 4 days camping in a tent and riding a bike on the road and off-road. A lot of rain in the last couple of days made it really nicely green, and of course you can see snowy peaks. That's actually where we are going, so I hope weather will be in our favor, but yeah, you never know with Colorado thing. Weather changes here so rapidly that my old supervisor used to say, if you don't like it, wait for 10 minutes, it will definitely change. Okay, so we are leaving town of Superior, going to Idaho Springs. It's beautiful road, not so many traffic, and this young girl, she will turn almost 40 next year, is all ready. Both of these bikes have upgraded suspension. My friend Lucas was thinking what he should do, either buy new KLR, which leaves him with again pretty bad stock suspension, or should he invest in this one. And then we did a compression test, discovered that the engine is running strong like any other KLR ever produced. Those are really Mad Max bikes and no issues with them whatsoever. So after discovering that the engine is good, he decided to invest some money and put Cogen Dynamics cartridge emulators up front, and whole rear shock from Cogen Dynamics. Not sure which model it is, but one without reservoir. And he said so far he is very happy, but this is going to be like a first real test for him. On the other hand, my bike on front has a Racetech emulators and Wilbur's really nice shock on the back. By the way, this R80ST, sometimes people call it Baby GS, it's very rare bike, and interesting thing about it, the same as GS, is a monoshock on the rear, which actually was BMW ahead of their time. and that works really well. Okay, I'm going to let you enjoy some of the scenery. Gorgeous view on Flatirons. Here we are, Idaho Springs. This is our first stop. We will get some coffee and maybe a breakfast, and then we are going to continue toward Berthoud Pass. So help us God. Idaho Springs is really nice, small historic town with a lot of mining going on in the past. And they are our friends. Here we are, after a really nice coffee at a historic Idaho Springs Cafe, and you can feel my voice is completely different. Yeah, the reason for that is I was able only to get maybe 5 hours of sleep this night. Our toddler was awake, but now everything is better with the coffee, and now it's time to move forward. Yeah, we are on I-70, definitely not my favorite, but it's going to be pretty short before we switch over to backcountry roads and some of the dirt roads. Let's see what the Berthoud Pass will look like. But it's another beautiful day in Colorado. You can still see peaks covered with snow, so I'm a bit concerned how that will look like. After Berthoud Pass, it should be pretty nice by the river, lower elevation, hopefully no snow, and camping should be fun, not too cold, even though you always need to be prepared here. So that's why it's a good idea to have something like a 0-degree sleeping bag and warm clothes. So as we are climbing to the top, to the pass, temperature is getting cooler and cooler, but surprisingly it's still warm enough. It's pretty nice. So it's in mid-50s or 14 degrees Celsius for the rest of the world. So few thoughts about the best adventure bike. That's a question that usually comes up. What's the best bike for adventure? And I'll tell you right away, the best one is the bike that you have. There is no perfect bike. Every one of them has pros and cons. And the easiest actually answer is, if you take a bike that you already have, just slightly transform it to be adventure ready. That doesn't mean that you need to have every goodie that's available, because that's just money trap and you will end up spending a fortune. So instead of doing that, invest that money into your trip and go and do some adventure riding. So don't hide it, but ride it. Do you need to have like the brand new 1250 GS to do adventure riding? No, you can do it on any bike. Do you need to have Tenere? Again, answer is no. I'm sure it's a very capable and nice bike to have, pleasure to ride it, but it does have its pros and cons. Here you can actually see three of us riding three completely different bikes. So big GS, very old, almost 40 years old, Airhead, and then KLR, all different but all ready for the adventure. That's what we have and that's what we are riding. So next time when you want to ask that question, ask yourself if you are ready and up to task for the adventure, not a bike. Usually bike performs really well, it's up to rider. Okay, fellow riders, here we are back on a train. Wow, so nice. Okay, well, our lovely GS 1200, it seems, has some electrical issues, maybe battery, maybe alternator. He was able to start it and heading over to campsite, but maybe we'll need to go to Glenwood Springs actually to figure out what's going on. So we might have actually some ranching as well, not only camping. Well, that's what adventure is all about. Well, I really hope we will see it up pretty soon, because this is getting gnarlier and steeper and steeper. Entering White River National Forest. Wow, that means we are pretty close to Glenwood Springs, probably this place we'll oversee. Glenwood Springs just from the top. Pretty cool. Okay, I hope we'll be able to find some really nice spot here. It looks like beautiful forest though. It was definitely worth of coming here. Okay, it seems that my KLR friend found it. Mad Max bike. Let's go. Oh, this is going to be so nice. Beautiful campsite. Gorgeous. A bit muddy, but gorgeous.